something new we never did before.
The world mourned the loss of a legend, but no one was prepared for what came next. Days after Ace Frehley's passing, investigators entered his Morristown mansion, and what they found in his garage left everyone speechless. Hidden behind locked doors was a secret collection worth millions. Cars once thought lost, each one tied to a chapter of his wild, untamed life. From the 1981 DeLorean that outran police to rare Ferraris and a Bentley gleaming like chrome fire under the lights, it was more than a garage. It was a museum of rebellion, a reflection of the man who lived fast and burned brighter than any star. This wasn't just discovery. It was Ace Frehley's final encore. In 1973, fate brought him together with Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, and Peter Criss. Together, they formed Kiss, a band that would redefine what rock music could be. With his wild energy, iconic silver makeup, and thunderous solos, Ace Frehley became the soul of the band. The fire, the lights, the chaos. He was at the center of it all. His signature guitar solos could make arenas tremble, and his stage presence made millions believe in something larger than life. But Ace wasn't just the guitarist, he was a creator. He designed the famous Kiss lightning bolt logo, a symbol that became one of the most recognizable in music history. In 1978, as the band reached the peak of its fame, each member released a solo album. Against all odds, it was Ace Frehley's album that triumphed. His record, featuring the hit New York Groove, soared into the top 20 of the Billboard charts, proving he wasn't just a part of the Kiss machine, he was a star on his own. Yet, behind the fame and the painted face, there was a storm brewing. Ace began to feel trapped. The music he loved was becoming too polished, too commercial. What had started as raw energy now felt like business. He longed for grit, for freedom, for authenticity. But fame demanded conformity. As tensions grew inside the band, so did his dependence on alcohol and drugs. He was fighting two wars, one with his band and one within himself. Then came 1982. Against all expectations, Ace Frehley walked away from Kiss. He turned down a contract worth over $15 million, nearly $100 million in today's money. But as he later said, "If I had stayed in that band, I would have crashed my car into a tree." For Ace, leaving wasn't about money. It was survival. Even after walking away, he retained a 25% partnership share in the band until 1985, earning royalties from hits like Lick It Up and Animalize. But Ace wasn't done making music. In 1984, he formed his new band, Frehley's Comet, signing with Megaforce Records. Their debut album in 1987 sold nearly 500,000 copies, featuring Ace's signature raw and electric sound. He followed with albums like Second Sighting and Trouble Walkin', proving that even without Kiss, the Spaceman still had fire left in his soul. Ace Frehley's journey was a wild ride of fame, fall, and rebirth. In 1995, fate brought him back to Kiss for their iconic MTV Unplugged reunion. The performance reignited the band's chemistry, leading to a massive 1996 world tour where Ace Frehley proudly wore his silver makeup once more. In 1998, Kiss released Psycho Circus, though Ace played on just one track. Old tensions resurfaced, and by 2002, he departed for good. Tommy Thayer replaced him as the Spaceman, but fans knew there would always be only one true Ace Frehley. In the years that followed, Ace embraced his independence. He released albums like Anomaly, 2009, Space Invader, 2014, and Spaceman, 2018. Each one a reflection of his journey, his battles, and his rebirth. His guitar still roared like thunder, proving that time could not dull his fire. Every show ended with the same anthem, "Rock and Roll All Night," the song that defined his life. But fame and music couldn't shield him from real-world struggles. In 2013, Ace lost his beloved mansion in Yorktown, New York, to foreclosure after failing to pay more than $735,000 in debt and property taxes. The mansion, once filled with laughter, guitars, and memories, stood as a silent reminder of how even legends can fall. Its walls had seen the highs of success and the lows of isolation. Friends say that after losing it, Ace spent nights just driving through Morristown, New Jersey, gazing at the stars, the same stars that had inspired his Spaceman persona decades before. Yet, despite the setbacks, Ace never lost his love for life, or for speed. Behind closed doors, he was a car lover, a true gearhead. His garage was his sanctuary, filled with machines that mirrored his personality. Fast, loud, and legendary. Among his collection was a 1981 DeLorean, famously involved in a 1983 police chase that made headlines. The car, later restored to its original stainless steel shine, was a symbol of Ace himself, damaged, reborn, and unforgettable. Next sat his prized Ferrari 365 GT4 BB and a Ferrari 5112 BB, both rare models that turned heads wherever they went. Parked beside them was a Cadillac Seville, a nod to his love for old-school luxury, and a sleek Bentley, proof that beneath the rebel exterior lived a man who appreciated refinement. After his passing, when the FBI inspected his garage, the world was shocked. Every vehicle was a piece of history, each one telling a story of triumph, chaos, and survival. His car collection became a reflection of his journey, beautiful, powerful, and unbreakable. Away from the spotlight, Ace was nothing like the wild rocker fans imagined. Friends described him as funny, kind, and deeply creative, a man who loved to draw, build, and dream. He was fascinated by science fiction and art, spending hours designing guitars and stage setups that felt straight out of another galaxy. Music was his language, but creation was his soul. In 1976, Ace married Jeanette Trerotola, and together they had a daughter, Monique Frehley. Though the marriage ended in the early 1980s, Monique became the center of his universe, the one constant through every storm. She was the reason he fought his demons and, eventually, the reason he found peace. After years of battling addiction, Ace finally achieved sobriety in the mid-2000s. He credited his daughter and his fans for saving his life, saying their love gave him the strength to start again. But fate, once again, had a cruel twist, waiting. On September 25, 2025, while working in his studio in Morristown, New Jersey, Ace suffered a devastating fall. At first, it seemed minor, and fans prayed for a quick recovery. But the fall caused a severe brain bleed, leaving him in critical condition. For weeks, he fought, surrounded by his daughter, his siblings, and his longtime partner. The world held its breath as messages poured in. "Get well, Spaceman." But the miracle never came. On October 16, 2025, after 3 weeks on life support, the machines were turned off. The Spaceman had taken his final flight. The world mourned from New York to Tokyo, from old fans to new generations who had discovered his music online. His family released a statement calling him a loving, peaceful soul whose memory will live forever. After his death, attention turned to what he left behind. Despite decades of fame, Ace's net worth was a modest $1 million, mostly from royalties, artwork, and his prized guitars. But for those who knew him, his true wealth was in the memories he created, the hearts he touched, and the music that still echoed across time. Tributes poured in from every corner of the world. Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, and Peter Criss called him an essential and irreplaceable rock soldier. Rock legends, fans, and even younger musicians credited him for inspiring them to pick up the guitar. His legacy wasn't just in the notes he played, it was in the freedom he embodied. He once said, "I'm an anomaly. I never learned to read music. I just played from my heart." That was Ace Frehley, the untrained genius, the rebel dreamer, the kid from the Bronx who turned noise into art, even in death. His influence refuses to fade. His music still plays in dive bars, stadiums, and late-night car rides. His face, painted silver and black, still shines on posters and walls across the world. The Spaceman may have left Earth, but his sound still travels through the stars. If you felt the fire of Ace Frehley's music, don't let it fade. Hit that like, share his story, and keep the legend alive. Because the Spaceman spirit still echoes in every chord and every heart that believes in real rock and roll. Subscribe for more stories that honor the icons who changed music forever. Thanks for watching.